In this video, let's talk about remote camera operating with Advanced Image Robotics.
Real quick, you're watching VP Land. Special thanks to our sponsors for helping make our NAB coverage possible, Blackmagic and Atomos. And now back to the video.
All right, I'm here with Kevin from Advanced Image Robotics.
Yes.
Kevin, good to see you.
Good to see you.
So tell me what we got going on here.
Well, this is the Advanced Image Robotics Air 1, or Air platform, we call it. And what it is, we built from the ground up an IP-based a system to make live video for live events better, simpler, and radically less expensive. What we've done, we've taken an off-the-shelf digital cinema camera. In this case, we have a Sony Alpha. We could run the FX3, the Alpha 1, the Alpha 9, and interchangeable lens. And then we built a robot around it. And with the robot, all you need is to plug it in, just power and the Ethernet cable, and you can run it anywhere in the world using an iPad.
So it's getting the video feed, all the controls out of it over the head.
Correct.
Okay.
Right. And then what we've done, we've taken all of the movement that you would get normally with the PTZ that you're doing with a joystick. What do you call those things?
PTZ controller, joystick, or whatever.
Or if you're manually handling a camera, we've done that. We've taken those movements and we programmed them here so that if you can just move your finger this way,
you're panning
this way, you can run a camera, right? So what this means is someone that if you're someone that doesn't necessarily have a high level of IT connectivity experience, you don't necessarily need an OB truck, don't necessarily need a bunch of expensive switching hardware or IT hardware. All you need is our cloud software, and we take care of all that up in the cloud. So we reduce all the forward CapEx costs, turn it into OpEx instead, make it super easy to connect and then super easy to run. So if I'm a camera operator, I don't have to be the guy blocking the view at a concert anymore. If you've ever been to a seminar in a hotel room, there's always a giant platform.
Yeah, big platform, big tripod, big
guy standing like this, big husky guy. We can put that person in another room now, or they can be in another city.
Right. So this doesn't have to be on like the same local network. This could be over the internet anywhere.
Absolutely correct. Okay. Yeah, we've had instances where we've done a shoot in California. We've had a camera operator in Florida, and we've had the technical director in Philadelphia, and all like they're in the same room, right, running it together like that.
What's the latency like to get that video signal?
Almost imperceptible. Like I said, it's like we're in the same room. If you've got 20 megabytes of bandwidth, it's under 200 milliseconds.
And you're connecting, so you can just go over Ethernet. What kind of video signals it's sending out, and what can you do with that?
You said we were going to get technical. Whatever the camera protocol can do, we'll run. So in this case, we're running H.265, right? So you can change the encoder here as you wish.
Okay, and then I guess how would you connect it to whatever your mixing system is? Like, just would it show up as another? It'll show up as another thing on the network. Okay. So there's two options there. One is our philosophy is we want stuff to be super user friendly. We want it to be open. So we play well with other systems. You can plug our system in as part of an existing system, and or you can add your stuff to our system as well. So the third part of this is that there's an entire back end where you can use all your standard off-the-shelf video production apps. So your vMix, for example, you can use that in one pane of glass rather than need to switch through a bunch of different machines to it. Or Adobe Premiere if you want to do your editing. If you want to add some graphics, you can do all that within our orchestration layer and then stream that to any CDN you want. Okay. Yeah. And I see multiple cameras on the bottom. Can you control multiple cameras from one
These
display?
Are actually presets.
Okay. Then never mind.
So if I
can you control multiple cameras from?
I can control up to 6 cameras from this iPad. So I can switch between them there, and you can see another one there running. And I can run an infinite number of cameras on my network, but in this case, I can run to 6 from one iPad.
If you had if you're shooting on a 4K camera, you're only outputting to 1080. Can you do like zoom-ins and reframes and get?
Correct. Well, you can also stream it at whatever level the camera is set up for. You got a 4K camera here that'll go up to 8K. That's the Z Cam. We support the Sony series, like I said, as well. But I can also record onto the camera as well. So the other cool thing we're doing is we're collecting all of the data of the camera movement, where it is in time and space, how it's moving, what speed it's moving at, so that eventually these will be autonomous and you'll be able to have a one-man band run a bunch of cameras at a time. So let's see if this one works. So if I double tap on that, it takes me.
Oh, there we go. Okay, got it.
And then if I want to make a new setting, let's see, we'll go over to Puhong here, make that
Thank you, buddy.
Double tap and autofocus. I'll make that. Poohan, don't move. Okay. We'll turn it somewhere else. We'll make it right there for the trash cans, right? So double tap on that. Save that recall.
That's a very intuitive interface.
Very much so. And then I can save the speed I want it to go at too, so we'll make it a medium speed. So we'll go back to the first one. As you can see, I've got that set slow. And one of the other cool things is that unlike a normal PTZ where you have this robotic movement where you go meh, 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 and again, you can hear the motors and whatnot. You can't hear this one. It's moving, right? It's very, very quiet.
Yeah, I haven't heard anything.
But it also will move like a human moves, so very smoothly.
So it kind of has those like curves as it's like slowing down or speeding up.
Well, so watch this. So like if I'm moving this, so the farther from the point of origin my finger goes, the faster it turns. And then if I let it off, it comes to a nice easy halt. It doesn't just stop, right? So it moves much like a human operator would. Except with the presets, I can automate a bunch of, if I'm, for example, going to a timed race where I have to go to the same start every time, I can hit it every single time automatically because I've got it on a preset. Right?
You mentioned like that you can also get the feed and do things in the future. So you're going to be able to like pause, like say, track this player, follow this. Can you do that now, or is that a future?
That's next on the list.
Okay,
yeah, we'll have that later this year. Where you'll be auto tracking of objects and of people.
Like that. Yeah. So what are a lot of the use cases that you've been seeing of this put to use?
Yeah, I can show you some stuff here when we get a little room. But so UFC has used us to do more for still imagery. So from up in the lights where you can get some sweet top-down shots.
Okay, cool.
That you can't normally get. One of my favorites is there's a company called Four-Legged Flicks. All they do is shoot dog agility courses.
Okay.
So they travel around the country, and they've got a two-person company, and they got 6 of these, and you pop them up and sit under the umbrella and record the dogs and run a business out of it, right? So it's everything from a high-end YouTuber up to tier 1 sports. We've had this for corporate events as well. It's very good for us. So if I'm a medium-sized company and I've got my CEO is going on a road show and they're going to several different places. Typically we've seen budgets where companies spend $1 million on that sort of thing because you're renting labor. You got to send labor in advance. You got to set everything up. You're renting all your equipment. With this, this all fits into a carry-on case that I can throw up into a bin. I can set that all up. It enables me not only to get more footage, but also to be able to do a lot of it myself, whereas normally I would outsource that.
That's a very interesting thing too, because it sort of seems to enable like a remote workflow for something maybe we didn't traditionally think of remote, like camera operators, of like someone being there for like operating the camera.
Correct.
Do you kind of feel this is like just a trend and going like options where people can either stuff can be that we did on-prem traditionally could be remote?
Well, look at it like when Pixar came out with Toy Story, right? Everybody was freaking out about, oh my God, animation is changing. Nobody's going to be able to draw this stuff by hand anymore and go like this. It's just better tools, right? With better tools, we get better content. This is the same thing here. So with operators, like we can envision a day where you'd have an operator in Salt Lake City doing a show in New York in the morning and LA in the afternoon and never having to leave home, right? For a technical director or what have you. So you can minimize the crew on site. And, we all as much as we love to travel, we all like to stay home sometimes too, right? So it'll minimize travel for people. It'll reduce costs that way. It reduces the footprint. Reduces your carbon footprint as well because you're running less equipment, you're drawing less power, you're shipping less things, which is also, if you've ever looked at the freight charges for a live event, it's pretty expensive, right? So all your operational costs are going lower, your CapEx costs are going lower, and you're getting better video. What's not the lie?
And then availability and where can people find out more?
You can find out more at Advanced Image Robotics. We are distributed in North America by Broadfield Distribution and their entire network. So we're supported by that. But at advancedimagerobotics.com, they can find out more about the system, more about the back end as well. We can show you some of the cloud features too when Nick gets out of the way. So here's our master dashboard. What's cool about this is I can see every camera on my network. I can see all the data that's operating, and that's important because typically now if I'm at a CDN and I'm doing a live stream, something breaks, I don't know what broke, right? Well, I might know camera 3 went down, but I don't know why. I don't know where it is. I don't know how to fix it.
So that'll tell you.
So with this, I can see it. And sometimes we're adding some stuff in the future where we might be able to predict, hey, go take a look at this. You might want to watch what's going on there. But this will save producers millions in terms of support costs, because they'll be able to pinpoint a problem rather than having to troubleshoot it on the spot. So we've done things as well where we were at the World Athletic Championships in Budapest last year. We were testing some of our equipment there. We had an issue on the field with a firmware issue where the robot wasn't working as it was supposed to. Our guy was able to remote in from California and fix it. All right, that's cool. Right there on the thing. Your next question was?
I was asking, so about, can you only control on the iPad, or can you control on a web interface, or bring in other devices if you did want to use a joystick or something?
Yes, is the short answer.
Do all the above?
Yeah. Okay. So we like to say, I like to liken using the iPad as, for sort of those of us that are older, the first time you send an email, right? Before we were used to faxing, where we'd have to print a paper, you'd have to type in a button, you'd have to feed it through, and you have to wait for everything. First time you clicked and sent an email, it seemed weird, but as soon as you knew how to do it, that's all. Faxing's gone. I'm done with it. We understand that people still want live control or physical controls as well, and there's instances where that needs. So yes, we're adding that. There is a PlayStation controller option that's coming on quick. We have one user who likes to do it with a mouse for still images, so they can click and zoom and pan and focus all with one hand.
Whatever you're used to.
We're developing a pan bar option for this as well that will be inexpensive. It should be under $3,000, but it will give you all the features of a larger, more robust industrial type of pan bar, but be able to run that remotely.
So you're just kind of moving it, and it's like remotely controlling the actual camera.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks again, Kevin.
All right. Thanks again. Cheers.
And that is it for this video. Be sure to check out the rest of our NAB coverage over here at this playlist, and hit the subscribe button for more videos like this. Thanks for watching. I will catch you in the next episode.